Hello, I'm Hal Ottaway with the Wichita Postcard Club, and it's time once again for another Postcard of the Week. And this week, I'm anxious to tell you about and to introduce you to Kyle Jolliffe from Toronto, Canada. He's been coming to the Wichita Postcard Show for several years, and I think maybe Susan Lane for first introducing him to us, and we've become very good friends. He's done a number of presentations for us, and we're pleased to have him for this coming July 13th. That's on a Saturday afternoon at 1:45 Central Time. So please join us. But first of all, let's listen to Kyle now and let him tell a little bit about his presentation, and we'll run through all the details afterwards. Kyle, go ahead. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Helen. Pleased to be here today. Um, Motels are a really interesting topic because they cover so many aspects of North American life. A single card can be regional, it can be local, it can be national in different ways. It can also be cultural, and show how people live their daily lives, and sometimes where there were tension points as well. And there was definitely tension around the topic that this card illustrates, the card I'm going to look at today from the Coronado Lodge in Pueblo. Now, this lodge was built in about 1940 to 1941, part of a larger boom of motel construction across the United States. And it's in the what's called the Pueblo revival of mid 20th century motel architecture. So it has features of Pueblo architecture like the steeped massing of the walls, the wooden poles or vigas that support the roof, the parapets on the rooftops, the stuccoed walls. It all gives a real unity of design to that particular style of architecture. And the Coronado Lodge in Pueblo is actually listed in the National Register of Historic Places since 2020. And a large reason it got that designation is that because it was listed in the Negro Motorist Green Book, which was published from 1936 to 1966. African American travelers sometimes had real problems in terms of being refused accommodation or not being able to eat at restaurants or being refused repair facilities for their cards, in some places subject to arbitrary arrest. All this before the 1964 Civil Rights Act. So the Negro Motorist Green Book provided a valuable service for these travelers. They might be athletes, they might be businessmen, they might be performers, or just people traveling across country to visit relatives. This is real gritty history. You can feel the sense of comfort that people using that green book, would have, knowing that they wouldn't get refused service when they were traveling across the country. And it's also a valuable touchstone for the world before the 1964 Civil Rights Act. I really find this card worth pointing out, not just for the unity of design of its architecture, but for the testimony it gives to an innkeeper, welcoming travelers, without reservation. A little side note is that the hotel also featured in one of the National Lampoon movies. That's the postcard of the week, and I think it's an exceptional introduction to my talk that's coming up shortly.
Oh,
Thank you,
great.
Hal.
You bet. Thank you, Kyle. I had no idea about this being included in the Green Book. I've heard of that, never owned a copy, but I've certainly seen them in museums and online some. But that's an amazing story, and glad to know it. It's just one of the things that shows you the importance of postcards and what fun they are and how much you can really learn about the history and so forth of all over the country or world, really, for that matter too. But please join us on July 13th, Saturday afternoon at 1:45 Central Time, and we'll see Kyle again, and we'll learn about more or look at this Pueblo, Colorado card and all of the others that he's going to be showing us. We'll see you then. And thanks, Kyle, again for being here today.
My pleasure, Hal. Always
Okay.
a pleasure.